then you eat the cup. See, isn't it yummy? Shots with marshmallows is delicious. Now I suggest.
Okay. Hi, UnWed, and welcome to the next episode of In Bed with the UnWed. Today, we're talking how to holiday single. And Audra is here. Everyone, you will love Audra so much because I love Audra so much. We're actually neighbors. We never hang out.
No, we don't.
Sadly.
We secretly love each other and hate
From
each
afar.
other at the same time.
Our street is named Westminster,
Westminster.
which everyone calls because there's 5 single women.
You know, we're not going to give you the address because
There's a
we
lot.
know you'll all be here.
You'll come over.
We don't really need all of that attention. We have,
as they should. But
we are busy watching Netflix.
Yes.
We don't need to all the show up.
No, and dressing up. Okay, so today we have I'm actually very excited about this one. We're doing how to holiday single, but it's broken into 2 parts because really when you're single, holidays are 2 completely different days depending on whether you have children or not for the holiday.
Do you split yours? Do you share the day or do you do 1 year on, 1 year off?
Yep, good question. So we split.
Oh, so
Legally, we should do 1 year on, 1 year off, but usually around 1 o'clock on the day of.
Okay.
Which we'll talk about because
That's rough.
I think is an important point, but
very important.
So hold that thought for just a second.
Yeah.
We have Mrs. Claus here.
I'm the real
For our family
Mrs. Claus.
portion, Mrs. Claus has joined us.
Everybody knows I'm the real Mrs. Claus.
And she's a pro. Mm-hmm. She is called, what? The single?
Oh, on my off time when I'm not Mrs. Claus, I'm the single mom sensei.
So you guys, this is a big deal today that Audra is here.
Wet off.
We're gonna be on right now.
We will.
Okay. So we're gonna talk family portion tips to get through the holidays when you're single.
Yeah, not easy thing.
No, but survivable.
Right. So I have 3 tips for surviving.
Yeah.
I've been divorced for.
She came prepared. I'm just gonna do nothing. Go.
I got nothing to say. I don't talk a lot.
That's
So
good.
I'm gonna let her
Go.
So I've been divorced for 12. I've been single for 12 years. I have 2 kids, 12 and 13. So I've been through a lot of different phases of it. And I've found that there's 3 real things that will keep you sane as a family during the holidays. And I split 1 year on, 1 year off. And for me, that really works because when I have my off year, I just I'm all me and I do adventures and things. And when it's the kids, I'm all kids. So that's how I do it. I really like
awesome.
it that way.
Yeah. Which I also think is great.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that when you're ready.
Yep.
So number 1, I think it has to be quality, not quantity, because if you have a real quality, and I'm not talking a lot of presents, I'm just talking about memories, activities, and really thoughtful gifts and thoughtful experiences, because you only have half the holidays to make it matter, right?
Yeah.
And then the second thing is creating traditions, which is real similar to the first one, but I read an article years and years ago about if the more indelible traditions that you can create, the more nostalgic and lovely it will feel for you and your kids. So
I love that.
I have a really set menu for Christmas. I mean, I do not divert. We do prime rib and a Yule log and twice baked potatoes. That's it. And I don't ever fix them those things any other time of year.
Yeah.
So they look forward to it. And I do that with all the holidays.
Yeah.
So creating traditions and not
set things you do just on those
and I
things.
don't believe in regenerating, not the recirculated ones from when you were growing up. I really believe, my parents did pajamas on New Year's Eve. Everybody does that. Create something so unique to you and your children that it's something that they really look forward to. And when they're, when you're dead or something, which is going to happen, they'll do you remember that time with mom at the Christmas dinner? And my kids already do it. So number 1, quality. Number 2, traditions.
Yep.
And then number 3, what was number 3? I don't remember.
I have a 3.
Okay.
Which goes back to my point, but it's all about the kids. So when you have your kids, it's all about the kids.
Right.
And even when you don't have your kids, it's kind of all about the kids. But I love the new traditions. We do that. We always make homemade cinnamon rolls because I love cinnamon rolls.
That's cute.
So that's what we do. It's a pain in the ass.
She's never invited me, which is
I have not.
this year. What a problem.
I mean, I haven't been invited to your prime rib either. So you do prime rib?
Would you like to come over for Christmas?
Do you want to come for
Do
cinnamon
you have
rolls?
your kids for Christmas?
Yes.
You are invited for Christmas.
Yes.
It's going to be so fun.
This thing is over.
Yeah.
So we technically have 1 week on, 1 week off, or not, but during the holidays, right? Like 1 week. And then, but it's always open. Like if my ex calls and says, hey, can I take the kids? Like if it's for the second half of the day, I am always like, sure. Because this is where this is where I feel like it comes back to, it's all about the kids. Like if it's going to make my children happy to be able to see their dad on Christmas.
Well, I'm going to throw a little wrench in there, which is for some of us,
it doesn't always work.
There is no like amicable relationship with my ex and I. So we never talk. I think I've talked to him 4 times in 12 years. So there's no flexibility.
Yes.
So sometimes what's good for the kids is to just be for me, it's consistency.
For sure.
And we just, because we can't be flexible.
Yeah. But again, so that's a good point, because if it works for you,
right.
I work at a divorce law firm, and so we just see so many people who are using the kids really as ammunition over the holidays, where it's like, guys, like this isn't about us and being equal parent time necessarily, right? Like it needs to be fair and amicable, but it also, just remember to focus on the kids.
Right. And what I'd say is, even though we're so different, you're exactly right that we are sharing the same philosophy, which is I may not negotiate, but it's about the kids.
And that's what's best for them.
But we've come up with a very strict rule, minute to minute policy that is about the kids. Well, this is when you get the kids. This is when I get the kids. There's no manipulating because the holidays really should benefit everyone. And
for sure.
Like you said. Yeah. So it's none of that.
Yeah. So I love quality or quantity. I'm already messing up.
Quantity.
Not quality.
Yes.
Even because a lot of times
I think
finances.
That.
What is it?
Quality.
Not quantity.
Quantity is many.
I know. What did I say?
As in, I don't know.
Let's start that one again.
I don't know.
Which is the better? We want quality. That shot's making me sweat.
Well, this is making me
She gets to take that off in a second.
Off my shirt.
We're going to edit this.
You should not edit this.
I think you have some marshmallow.
Well, it's better than what it could be. Okay, I'm going to say that anytime.
Okay, we need quality. We need quality. Yeah, okay. It's quality, not quantity, which I love. Sometimes finances are tight.
True.
So quality, kids want quality. They want your time. They want your attention. We always set when I don't have them, I set a particular date on the calendar that we're celebrating Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So that we can do our own countdown to our own Christmas.
Okay.
And with the kids, I always try to really focus on all the positive aspects, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like, we don't get to see dad or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, well, actually, you get to have 2 Christmases.
Oh,
like,
wow.
That's their favorite thing ever, is because lucky you kids, you guys get 2 Christmases instead of just 1.
You and I are so different, though. It's funny because I don't do that. I'm like, there's 1 Christmas for everyone.
Oh,
so we actually, when he has them, he's in charge. He pays for it. It's done, and I give them presents as a mom. And then when I have Christmas, it's all me.
Yeah.
Now, again,
that's brilliant.
I think that we're similar in that we're really trying to come up with a solution that makes the kids feel special and focuses on them. You know. But no,
I love that. I've never even.
No, it's 1. It's hit it and quit it.
Yeah. Okay, so if that works for you guys, this is all different options. It's great.
I know, but I will say, so especially when I don't have the kids, like I have the kids for Christmas this year, and sometimes we will text what we're getting.
So you don't do the same thing?
Yeah. Even though we don't share costs or anything. Yeah. Just so there's not any duplication. Yeah. But when I don't have them, especially, I spend a lot of time. There's so many free community things. There's so many like sleigh rides or the jingle bus downtown. And we do all of that stuff. So when you have some time where you're not spending money and planning for Christmas Day, you can actually make the season kind of cool. Yeah. So
quality, not quantity. Yeah. I love that. New traditions that are just yours and unique. Yeah, not just everybody else's traditions that they do too. Yep. And then it's really all about the kids.
And then if you have someone as beautiful as her to look at, can you imagine who would divorce you?
Obviously someone.
Someone who's completely insane. But
I know.
Who would
That's a different show.
A lot
right.
Of people.
No.
A lot of people. Anyway, okay.
Okay, now we've covered family part. So we're going to go on to how to holiday single when you're single by yourself.
Especially, but you are coming for Christmas dinner.
But so I'll be over at her house.
Like, ooh, we might have to have
my brother is coming and he's single.
How
is
young
happening.
is he?
We'll do another show. We'll do that live. We'll do a Facebook live from Audra's holiday
I like
Christmas party.
That's okay.
Oh, good. That's perfect. Okay, she's going to take off her clothes. We'll be right back. Part 2, personal holiday survival starts for sure.
Boom.
Shot for this one.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
I shot that one. Oh yeah, I got to eat the marshmallow. They're actually delicious.
Shots are so much better with marshmallows.
And we did this over my oven. You don't even need a fire.
You don't need a fire. You just need a source of heat.
Gosh, but I feel like whiskey and marshmallow. Oh shit, we spilled it. I feel like whiskey and marshmallow pairs well.
Okay, so
Did anyone know that?
yeah, actually,
I didn't.
there's a bar down the street called Campfire.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Never been there.
How are you the alcoholic? And I really know so much more about this.
I'm like
I'm an
what's
academic.
it called? You're an academic.
I'm an academic.
All I drink is whiskey.
Well, let's get you out. Have you tried other stuff? I mean, this is.
I got sick once off vodka. I don't drink that anymore.
Oh,
Nope. I like wine.
wine is for snooty people.
I like to pretend I'm snooty.
Okay,
Okay.
I respect it.
Okay. Personal how to holiday single.
Yes.
You guys, your first Christmas single is probably going to suck.
Yeah, it's hard.
But because it's what we're making it, right?
Right.
In our heads, the stories we tell ourselves, we're used to having a partner. Our whole lives have just fallen apart. We get it.
Yeah.
It can be a disaster. But we're here to help you. Mostly Audra, because she has all the good ideas.
I will tell you, so I have some good ideas, but I actually never have had a holiday as a family unit with my whole family. Because my ex and I split up right when my daughter was born.
Yeah.
And so I have never had a
Yeah.
Christmas with my 2 kids and their father.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
very
crazy.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
but I do think it's easier in some ways because I
Yeah.
don't have
All those.
memories.
So I will say I had like 14 years of not only my ex-husband and us doing it together. His family all lives here.
Oh,
and
wow.
I don't have any family here. And we would always do
Their traditions.
we'd have like a family Christmas with them. And so then that like, whoop, gone. So it wasn't just
Yeah.
losing my ex, and that, but it was
Yeah.
all of his side too. So that was hard.
Oh, gosh.
So I was alone. Like not just like
So your first Christmas alone, you didn't just have no kids, but you were like
no family. Which
you do?
comes into some of our tips because
we have tips.
things are important. Yeah, we are kind of organized.
we are.
What's our
So
first tip?
number one.
Oh wait, no, my number one is no Hallmark movies.
Oh, I disagree.
Except she likes Hallmark.
I like Hallmark, and here's why. Like,
Okay, I'll
because
tell you why I don't.
we have to have something to kind of believe in, and we all know it's nonsense. I mean, we do.
I feel
But-
like Hallmark is like Santa for adults. And then we all grow up one day and realize that's not true and we're disappointed.
Okay, but why do you go to the gym? Well, A, you look amazing.
Because
but it's about a goal, right? Like,
For sure. So is Hallmark your goal?
well,
Because those aren't even true.
they do kiss under the Christmas lights.
Right? And then guess what? You know what I heard one time?
Cute.
That a happily ever after is just a love story that hasn't finished yet. Because no one has a happily ever. That's why we're all in the situation we
Why
are. Because
aren't
we
we so
thought
stupid?
that
Listen.
happily ever after was a thing.
Okay, which leads us into there is a happily ever after. The happily ever after
On our own.
is today, whether you're
Yes.
alone or with someone.
For sure.
I mean, so I'm actually an advocate of like, it doesn't really matter if you're coupled or not.
Absolutely.
Christmas is amazing. It's what you make of it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
would I love to spend my Christmas in a Hallmark way? Absolutely. Absolutely. But it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because I can create, I mean, maybe this year my holiday is like the first scene of the Hallmark. Okay, so I'm going to share this. So,
I've never watched a Hallmark movie, so I don't know.
Oh, that's the problem. Okay, so tip number one. Tip number one is you got to start living your bucket list. That's
Okay.
what I was saying. Like,
But don't watch Hallmark movies. Go ahead.
maybe it's on your bucket list.
I agree with the bucket list.
Okay, so here's how it can be the
Okay.
first scene of Hallmark. So, like, I had always wanted to go to Paris. And my ex-husband and I were talking about going to Paris, and then, we have a baby. So it never really happened, but I was determined that, and I was thinking, oh, it'd be so romantic to go with someone and have the little locks and stuff. Finally, I was like, no, this is on the bucket list, and
Yeah.
it starts now. And I'm not going to say, I'm going to save Paris until I have someone. I'm going now. So I went to Paris by myself for Christmas. This was, I don't know, several years ago. So I spent a week and a half in Paris, and then I spent a week in London, totally by myself.
I love that.
And it was the most therapeutic, beautiful, lovely thing I've ever done. And in the process, I did meet a French guy that I could make out with. I mean, that's always going to happen. You're always going to meet someone that you can make out with.
For sure.
Everywhere you go. You should travel, because every time you travel, you find someone interesting to make out with. Not that I would, because I've got standards. She would.
But I should.
No, just opposite. But that's true.
It is true, which partly, so the bucket list, this is like your chance to do you. Now, you're single, you don't have children. I don't know how many married people would die for a Christmas that they could go do something that they wanted to by themselves.
Yeah,
right?
That's really how
we
I
always
try
know
to
what we
see it.
can't have. So
exactly.
Make the most of it. If you don't have the money to travel, you don't have to go somewhere crazy, but don't spend it alone. And start making plans early in the year to do something over Christmas. Like, it can be an overnight stay at a hotel. It could be an overnight, like, it could be anything. You can go to Paris and find a French guy to make out with, which I highly recommend.
It was very cool.
Or something for you. Make a bucket list and start checking them off.
He was not good of a kisser, but it was still kind of like a good story.
But it's a good story.
So,
that's all that counts.
Here's what I did last year. So you can do those kind of things, but like you were saying, where if you don't have money or whatever, last year I pretty dramatically quit my job, so I wasn't working at Christmas. And so I decided, and this was number 2 on our list.
Oh yeah, I love this
which was like, make Christmas for other people what you needed when you were struggling. So last year I dressed up in my Mrs. Claus outfit.
The one she took off for this part.
And I seriously just drove around Utah. I went out to Lake Erta, and I just saw a random person and gave him $20.
So she came to me and had this list, and this one I loved so much, because to be the person that you needed, really always, but especially over the holidays. And so she's like, be the Christmas house, be the Christmas dinner. Like, if you are a few years out, or you feel stronger, or wherever you are, if you feel like you can now give back, like, the beautiful thing is we know how it felt to be fresh and to be devastated.
Yeah, it's really hard if you don't have some support.
It's impossible. So to now, and it also helps to get out of your own shit to focus on someone else.
I guarantee you, for as bad as your divorce is, there's always a worse story.
Totally.
Except for maybe mine. Mine's always worse.
I mean, hers is pretty bad. But even like, our stories are our stories, and they're real to us. And so whether or not someone's is worse or better, it's still very real to me, and what I was going through, and my emotions are real. And so it's shit no matter, right?
Right.
And so you, as devastated as we were, there's someone else that's equally or worse devastated, right?
Right. And I also think, like, at what time to become adults? You know, you get married and you have children and you're a grown-up. That's the time that you start hosting Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think it's lovely if a lot of people have support systems like that. My parents have both passed away, and I don't have family here locally either. I mean, I have but I don't have that kind of support system. So to me, it's like, okay, I'm not going to sit around and watch Hallmark movies, although they're wonderful. I'm going to make it great. And my sister kids me sometimes. She's like, your house is always the island of misfit toys for Christmas or Thanksgiving.
Totally.
But watch that movie again, because that's where the party is happening.
Absolutely.
That's the story. It's actually not the bad part. The bad part was Santa and the elves at the beginning. They were horrible. And the abominable snow monster. But the best, this was a Thanksgiving, but I had same thing. A girlfriend, a older gentleman who I had met in an airport. That's very cool. Came to my, he's like 70, came to my house. He called me this Thanksgiving to say, I'm just thinking about you. That was one of the best Thanksgiving I've ever had. That's very cool. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Like, my brother was here. Anyway, just random, and it was the best. My kids had fun. We played crazy games. Like, it was great. Well, and it's kind of a beautiful thing after you've done it a couple years to have. So last Thanksgiving, I had my kids, and I had a couple of people call me and say, we don't have anywhere to go for Christmas. Can we come there? And so that's actually a really lovely feeling, because again, you've solved your own problem, which is being alone and lonely, and you're solving somebody else's problems as well. So it's kind of a cool. Be who you needed. Yeah. I love that. I like that. On the holidays. And then we have a number 3, or was there no, three? Feel like there's a 3, but we skipped part of bucket list that was important. Oh, super important. Hold on, I lost my So I really am a firm believer that I think it's kind of human nature for us to say, well, when I get a boyfriend, I'm going to go to Hawaii. Or when I get a girlfriend, I'm going to go on that train ride, you know? And then you save all these things that you may never do.
Yeah.
So I believe that part of the bucket list is doing things like...
This is a new tradition all of you should start immediately. And I want you to post about this. I want photos.
I buy holiday lingerie, and I don't even always wear it. What?
Look, these have the tags on them, unfortunately.
The tags are still on.
But she's ready.
But I'm ready. And this is, I think, from last Christmas. But I'm going to buy another one that has like a bow. And one day, I'm going to have a really good Christmas. But guess what? Even, but here's what I might do.
Okay.
Because you don't want to wait. I may just wear this for myself on Christmas Day underneath the Mrs. Claus, because it's about me. It's about my happiness.
Yep.
And then guess what? Maybe if I'm already wearing the holiday breeches, you know, if I've got these sexy knickers on, then you know, Santa.
But it makes you feel sexy. Fuck everyone else.
I think that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So in France, I think I learned this in France when I went on that.
Of course you did.
So it's really true. They tell you that you should always match your knickers, like your tops and bottoms.
Yes.
Because if you feel good, so if your knickers match, if your tops and bottoms match, then you're going to have confidence. And in fact, they even suggest putting little rose petals in your bra for confidence. Because, you know, we think a lot, I think, in the U.S. about what we look on the outside.
I love that so much.
But in France, they're really like, it's about what's on the inside. Yeah. You don't have to show your knickers to everyone.
Yeah.
It's just like you feel beautiful.
You know.
And when you've got gorgeous little breeches on, sexy and you're clean, like sometimes it's hard to shower as a divorced person.
Totally.
But when you do all those things, you just like, you can conquer the world. You walk out and like, I got it. I got this. And that's when you date. Not that you're looking for that necessarily, because you should focus on that. But I do think that's when the other stuff comes around.
Yeah.
So
ladies, go buy yourself some lingerie. Guys, buy yourself some hot new boxers.
And
guys can do it and feel good down there.
There's stuff like you can spend a lot of money on lingerie, but you can also like Target.
It doesn't have to be crazy.
Target has some stuff that's not very expensive.
Right? You're welcome.
You're welcome.
If you listen to nothing else, take this.
I really believe that. Like at the holidays, I think really take care of yourself. And I think part of bucket list is like, get a manicure, get a facial, and if you don't have a lot of money, you can go to these beauty schools and things. For sure.
Oh yeah.
Or host a little day spa at your house with your girlfriends.
Absolutely.
That's
I love
a lot
that.
of fun.
Yeah. Okay.
The last thing about surviving.
Is another good one.
I really believe this. So the third tip to surviving the holidays as a single person. So number 1 was bucket list. Number 2 is...
I mean, basically this is all you need.
That was part of bucket list.
Oh, wait, that was bucket list. Number 2 was be who you needed at the holidays.
And then number...
Get out of your own head, guys.
It's absolutely true.
Yep.
And number 3...
We're distracted. This is all I can think about.
I think it's that.
It's the ugly cry.
It's the marshmallows.
Oh, yeah, it's our marshmallow shop.
3, if you need to cry. Like, absolutely cry. Cry hard and fast and mean it.
It's emotional.
But don't cry for very long. Because you need to have a pretty cry. You need to cry really hard and emotionally and walk out the door and look like $1 million because you got this. I don't think you want the world to be you. My friend Sarah and I talk about this all the time. She's like, I'll say I've had a bad day or something. She's like, but you did the pretty cry. Look at you. So it's all about the pretty cry.
Because I think I actually love that. And I feel like because there is emotional release.
Right.
But there's strength in the pretty cry.
I think that's so true. Because you want to have emotion.
Right? You have to let it out.
We're not sociopaths.
No. I mean, kind of. But.
No, you don't want to be. You want to have a soul.
And if you bottle them up, they stick.
And you project it onto other people in an ugly way. Yeah. So you have to cry in this healthy, like, powerful way and then go, I felt it. I didn't jump over that hurdle or walk around it. Like, I went right through it. Yeah. But now I feel great.
Yeah.
So you might take a nap after.
And that's great. And I think too, we talked about like, don't do the cry in front of your kids. Yeah. Like it's okay to show the emotion and that you're struggling. But I really feel like there are certain things that kids are prepared to deal with. Yeah. And there are certain things they are not. And their parents falling apart and being devastated is something they just can't process. Right. And then it sets them all up for all these other therapy issues that are like,
Yeah.
I had to be the parent and my mom and I take care, you
Yeah.
know, like, you know what? I've always tried to put on a brave face for my kids.
Yeah.
I will absolutely let them know if I may be having a hard time. They don't know all the details, but I will not have my meltdown days in front of them ever.
Yeah, because we got to be kids.
Yeah.
So it's not their job to be the
No.
parent right now.
And none of this situation,
Right.
divorce or otherwise,
It's not their
is their fault or even concerns them.
Right. I think that's.
I mean, they're
true.
thrown in the middle of it.
And
but
I think it's okay for them to see a moderate amount. But even then, like when my kids have seen me cry, it's like, again, it's a pretty cry, it's fast. And then I say, listen,
hey,
I
we all
cried
cry.
because it's difficult, but I got this.
Yeah.
You know, because that's a teaching moment to say crying isn't the end. It's the
No.
recovery that's
Yes.
the end.
And it's not bad. It's part of it.
Right.
But mom, dad, we've got this still.
You know, divorce is ugly, but it's also kind of beautiful.
It is.
Because it teaches you compassion and kindness, and it teaches you the importance of family. And so I think that's the one thing like that I've learned the most is that, gosh, the hardest thing. But so beautiful. And I've had so many great friendships and experiences from it that I'm really glad that I followed these kinds of tips because had I not, I could have missed that whole thing in years of depression, right?
Oh, yep.
So,
Yep.
So that's why we're giving you
I
these
love
tips
that.
is because it matters. So
It does. And you get to make it what you make it. It's your choice how your holiday
right.
turns out. How you show up is how your holiday will be.
And if you need to go somewhere for Christmas, we'll
be
you're invited
on Westminster. So just,
we will not give out the address.
It might be contagious.
It'll be fun though.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for having me on your lovely show. It was very fun.
This will probably happen more often.
I hope so.
Happy holidays from the UnWed.
Happy holidays.